Hello Internet, I'm Noel Byrne and welcome to Feck, the show that's 5 times better than your average banana.
And I'm Shane Ormond. Coming up on tonight's show, the Pope tweets a picture of a cat with his head stuck in the bread of life.
Morgan Freeman.
Great. And Gangnam Style kills a man and is now sharing a cell with the Macarena.
That'd be unfortunate.
Morgan Freeman, really? That's the headline.
That's the headline. He's an amazing dude though.
I like him not as much as the next man, but you know.
I really like him.
Yeah, I noticed.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure I heard this once that he likes using urinals. So that it's perfect timing for...
Seamless segue.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, well it's probably over a month or two ago now, we covered piss news.
Yes.
Which is basically news in relation to urine.
I enjoyed piss news.
Yeah, I thought you would. So I brought it back this week and a feature called Guitar Pee.
How many times have we had piss news on the show, Noel?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. We should probably just get a jingle at this stage.
Yeah. Piss news. Da-na-na-na.
Oh, you're doing it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not. Okay.
Piss news!
Guitar Pee basically is a different approach to urinals because we're all used to just going in, doing the job and leaving. Well, they have inserted a guitar, the strings of the guitar into the urinal, and then up the wall is the upper strings of a guitar.
The fret.
Yeah, I clearly don't play guitar.
The strings further away.
Basically, as you piss into the urinal then, it makes guitar noises, like electric guitar noises. And we have an image that you'll see here. It kind of gives a pretty clear...
I don't suppose you have a sound file
idea.
there.
No, but it's horrific sounding. It just sounds like really, really loud, off-key guitar noise.
I was playing Dragon Force on this earlier.
Were you?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
You see, what I don't like about this is the fretboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. You can make chords or whatever by putting your fingers up on the fretboard. But everyone's doing that, and they're touching the strings with their pee hands, and it's getting all pee and...
Well, they shouldn't be pissing on their hands in the first place. It should be pretty clean going on.
You just kind of give them a quick rinse. And
so basically, this is real, and it is in certain toilets. None in Ireland.
Yeah.
But
toilets are not...
Companies seem to be really taking on this issue that I didn't know existed of making urinals more fun.
I quite enjoy using a urinal sans musical or art and
I just get a buzz out of, reading things that are written in the toilet.
I don't like pooing.
There you go, folks. Groundbreaking stuff.
I would like something to do while having a poop.
Okay.
Because you can read a book, right? Okay, and that's grand and that's very enjoyable. But then when you have to wipe, it's difficult to hold the book and,
just rip a page out.
You need like a little stand, like a music stand, You could have that. Like a guy turning it. Just
I'm sure unemployment is pretty rife at the moment. I'm sure you could employ a dude.
You have those guys in the toilet who give you mints.
And lollipops.
They could do that.
I always feel bad if I don't tip them.
Yeah, even if you didn't want the cologne or the lollipop. Yeah.
I never took cologne, only a drumstick.
Yeah,
specifically.
They give you like sweets from the 90s. Where are they getting all the sweets?
I have no idea. Okay, so that is Guitar Pee. You can check it out if you come across it, and if you do, let us know how you got on. You can obviously do the whole, social media aspect, tweet it to Twitter and Facebook, your top score and stuff like that. A lot of people in the video you can watch, if you just YouTube Guitar Pee, a lot of people get the fright of their lives when the guitar noise starts. Yeah. I don't know how they didn't notice the huge guitar built into the urinal, but it's quite entertaining to watch.
Presumably the kind of places that would have Guitar Pee would be pubs. So.
Primarily, yeah. I don't think they're in hospitals or anything.
And we're going to do a guitar solo.
Okay, now that it's 2013, we're looking back on 2012, and what was the game of the year, specifically according to Shane?
Yeah, no, I looked at whatever the game of the year was according to the rest of the world, and that didn't really gel with what my opinion was, and my opinion's more important, no.
Yeah, some say that.
Because I'm taller, so that I have a lot of weight to my opinion.
Okay.
So I was talking to you about this earlier. My game of the year was Dishonored. You're looking at kind of first-person shooter, stealth killer action game, except instead of like your usual first-person or your usual kind of like stealth killers where you're like parkouring and stuff like that, they shoot it from behind. It was really interesting because they actually shot it like from your perspective. And like when you're playing the game, it's really visceral and real, and you're like jumping over things, and the camera wobbles when you like grab onto a ledge and you don't get it right. I thought it was an incredible game, and there was a lot of aspects to it that I loved. Like gameplay, visually, it looks like industrial Britain, but kind of like an alternative universe. So instead of powered by coal.
Steam and coal.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say coal.
It was coal.
It's powered by whale oil, and like at the start of like one of the most.
Can you use whale oil for that?
For what?
In real life, powering stuff.
I don't know, but it's luminous
whales
blue in the
have
video
oil?
game. I presume it's like whale fat.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a magical essence in this, like because whales are meant to be magic or something. This is starting to sound like a little girl's game.
Yeah, it is.
Whales
Magical
are magic. But yeah, one of the most striking images when you're playing the game is like in the first 10 minutes you see a ship drive past and they've got a whale like strung up from the like a scaffolding on the ship, and they're like they're cutting pieces off it and preserving the fat and taking out the whale oil.
Is there much gameplay to the game? How long does this last? As in,
It's actually it's quite a healthy chunk for like a just a first person game. You can actually go through it pretty
there's no
quickly.
two-player aspect to it, is there? It's just
No,
yourself.
it's all about like an experiencing the game. So anything that takes you
Okay.
out of the game really isn't in it. Like your friend calling you a, whatever. We're not allowed to curse anymore. But
Okay.
what was
But
I talking about?
what would you give it out of 10?
What would I give it out of 10? I definitely give it a 10 out of 10.
And what part of 2012 did this come out in?
This came out like just towards the end of the summer. But I was telling you earlier, like you don't have to kill anyone when you're playing the game. So you're an assassin.
Yeah, I liked that aspect. You said there's 3 kind of routes you can go, where you can be the killer that you'd expect in most video games.
Yeah.
You can be the kind of a bit of both, a bit from A, a bit from B, killing,
Yeah.
not killing, and then you can just be a nice guy
Yeah, you
and
just
not
don't
kill
kill
anyone.
anyone.
So kind of like the old A-Team episodes where no one really died.
Yeah, like you just kind of see them going off the screen. Yeah.
But that's an interesting take. Not many games like go down that route.
And especially because you're assassinating people. And then you, instead of like assassinating them like physically, you're assassinating them socially. So you have to strip them of their titles or whatever.
Okay.
And it actually makes for a very interesting.
Does
playthrough.
kind of sound nerdy in one sense.
Well, you could just kill everyone if you want.
Well, that's
like, yeah.
true, I suppose.
No, I love the game, and especially remember we were talking about how I find HUDs very annoying.
Yeah, it was a really finicky aspect
You can get rid of the HUD. You can have as much as you want. Like you can have your health and your shopping list there, or you could just get rid of everything entirely and just wander around and get completely lost in the game.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
Cool. So that's your recommendation
My
for
recommendation.
Game of the Year 2012.
You can buy it, or you can actually download it.
Well
I downloaded
done.
it.
Legally?
Yeah, like you pay for it, your $60 online,
Okay.
and it just sends it straight into your house.
Well, that's handy.
Although I'm on Aircom, so it took forever to get there, but
You eventually got to play it.
yeah, eventually.
Okay, so moving on. I thought this was a quirky little invention, and it could be, the big thing this year, 2013.
Yeah.
It's called Baby Mop. So, you know how babies, like they're really small people?
Yeah, I'm familiar with babies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the really small child.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they're pretty useless till they're about 5 years old.
When they can go to the sweatshop and
Yeah,
start really doing
make
some
stuff
real work.
for
Yeah.
pennies. So basically, someone has went, wait a minute, that child could be doing something around the house when I'm off watching telly. So
Is it like a small mop for a baby?
just a stick, and you just stick it into the child and off away you go. No, basically what they've done is they've created a onesie,
Yeah.
but on the knees and the elbows, they've created this kind of yellow cleaning part of it. So
Yeah.
it's like a brush built onto the arms. And
Do we have a picture?
we have an image of it, which kind of explains it much better.
Oh,
So
wow.
there you go, blue and yellow, lovely colours. So you can decorate your child in Tipperary colours, and then he'll clean the floor.
Listen, do you know what would be a really good idea? And they should probably do this. You could, the elbows, dip them in a bit of cleaning fluids, right? So the elbows are like washing the floor,
Yeah.
and then the knees will polish it and dry it afterwards.
There's a good chance the child will die. I mean, your floor will
Yeah.
be spotless, but
They'd be like a trail of like really clean wood, and then just like a
just
dead
a
baby.
baby. Yeah, so Baby Mop. I forgot to check how much it is, but I think it comes in at around maybe 50, 60 quid.
That for something so cute, that went very dark very quickly.
Yeah, so Baby Mop. Check it out if your house is a little bit dirty.
Baby
Or
mop.
if you have a lot of kids lying
Yeah.
around. It's the way to go.
Yeah.
You have some interesting news about North Korea's internet.
Yes, North Korea have finally got the internet. It's not the internet as you or I know it. It's their own kind of in-house internet. It's called an intranet.
Okay.
And all that's on it. You can't have YouTube, you can't have Google. It's just message boards, and you're only allowed to talk about how great Kim Jong-un is.
It's not really the internet then at all?
No, like there's no pictures of or like videos of like monkeys smelling their bum or anything like that. Which is why the internet was invented.
Yeah, of course. So what have they been doing up until this point in terms of on their computers?
Just nothing. Even like now, like there's only one internet cafe in
the country.
In the country. So you're probably, if you're on a message board, you're talking to a guy who's sitting behind you. And there's this weird coding that's on the internet that anytime you type Kim Jong-un's name, it's just like slightly bigger than, like very barely noticeable, slightly bigger than all the other words.
Okay.
Which I reckon is a type of like subliminal messaging. So you kind of think, oh, he's great. Actually, when we're doing articles in-house, anytime I have to mention my penis, I type it slightly bigger.
Well, every little helps.
Yeah, just for posterity's sake.
And do you think, are North Koreans, are there any section of them aware of this alternate internet?
No.
Like as in our internet, we'll say.
No, not at all. Like they get like dribbles of our culture. Like people drop balloons with kind of leaflets about what's going on in the outside world to try and expand their minds, but not really. Like a couple of journalists were allowed in there like briefly to take photographs. And their taxi driver was like, "This is my favorite musician, Michael Jackson. He's very good." And they were
so
like,
they aren't aware of like major social events, like
they don't know Michael Jackson's dead. The guy started crying.
Wow, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So they don't know that they could buy a baby mop.
No, they don't know. Well, they're probably making the baby mops.
That's true. That's crazy how there's still world like cultures where.
Yeah,
there's no reason why there couldn't be internet in North Korea.
It's why I find them so fascinating is because it's like the one of the few cultures in the world that is like so large and yet completely isolated from the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's a bit mad how it still happens in modern day times.
And they found unicorns last month.
They're just crazy. And staying with Asia,
Yeah.
a Japanese guy uploaded a video to YouTube where he was sick and tired of every time you throw a piece of rubbish in the bin, you'd miss, you'd have to get up, pick it up, all that. So basically he decided...
You're writing poetry and you keep getting it wrong and you crumple it up. And
yeah. So he's decided to create a bin that, using some sort of magic, knows where you're throwing the piece.
Whoa! Back up there, no. Using some sort of...
Magic.
Okay. So magic in this sense is science, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. You know when you were in primary school?
Yeah.
You know that book, Science is Magic? That wasn't meant to be taken literally. Did you just read the cover and you were like, oh, brilliant. Explanation.
Okay. So basically he somehow added sensors to the bin.
Yeah.
And it shuttles around the room.
Yeah.
As like wherever you're throwing the paper, it knows where it's going to go because the sensors.
Like a little robot.
It collects it. So we have some video footage of it in action as well. And I think this is actually a genuine product that could do quite well. Maybe around Christmas time. So like he just throws the piece of paper, boom, bin collects it.
Ah.
It kind of looks as though the bin is being controlled by like a little mouse or something that's just running around the room.
Yeah. It looks like Bugs Bunny is underneath the floorboards with a magnet.
Yeah. But it's a pretty nifty product.
It's all right.
You think it's more of a novelty gift?
It's in the middle of the floor now. Nobody's keeping a bin in the middle of the floor.
Well, if you keep it up against a wall, it could.
When you throw the piece of paper,
it'll shuttle out into the middle.
And then you have to go put it back.
However, I thought about this a little bit. There could be bedlam if you own one of those and your baby is mopping the floor. He's shuttling around. The bin is smash.
Yeah.
So maybe pad it is my only advice to this guy.
These are the problems of the home of the future.
Yeah. Children being killed as they clean the floor.
Baby mop versus magic bucket.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting one. Now,
Really?
he's only made them himself, so it's not.
You'd use it for January, and then by February you're looking for a bigger giant bin that moves around to throw it into.
I don't know. I mean, writers would like it and things like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, typing now is kind of the thing.
Okay, well, this week's useless app to finish up is aptly titled Hello, My Name Is. And you know when you're at like a conference or something and you have to wear a name badge, but then you might have a moment where it's like, oh my God, where's my name badge? There's no name badge.
Oh, it happens to me all the time when I'm at conferences.
Well, this app solves that very problem that no one knew existed. And it's called Hello, My Name Is, as I said. So you get this blank screen and you can write your name on it. Like so.
No.
And for the second time in so many weeks, you've drawn a penis. which has some sort of... Is that a baby mop?
Those are veins.
Oh, is that what
I'm
they
making
are?
a nice big veiny one.
Right.
There you go. Here, just a bit of curly. There you go.
So if you put it up, see that way then, it's upside down. So basically, you're able to draw on it, write your name, or draw penises, whichever, you know, floats your boat at a conference.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then you can clear it and begin again. And draw another one.
How do you fasten it to your
Well,
neck?
see, this is it. I mean, they're like, you can use it for this.
Yeah.
You'd have to hang a phone around your neck.
You could lick it and just like...
So I go...
Yeah.
There's actually an imprint of a penis on my phone screen.
That'll never come off.
Well,
Have you ever heard of that guy? And he sold a huge, enormous widescreen television on eBay for nothing. All you have to do is pay the postage and packaging. And the reason
quite
was
enormous, I'd imagine.
it was huge, and the reason was he had gone away on holiday, and one of his friends had gone into his house and put it to gay porn and paused it. And so for like 2 weeks, when people would pass the house, they'd just see this giant throbbing cock. And then when he came back and turned it off, it had burned into the plasma on the television. So there was always this kind of faint ghost of a penis on the screen.
That's awful.
So you got this free, huge television, but then there was a ghost of a...
Penis.
It would make you subliminally
That'd
gay.
make, like, you know, watching Corrie really weird.
Yeah. So just sitting there at your gran, just kind of feeling uncomfortable and you don't know why.
Okay, well, that's it for this week. We're going to leave you on that bombshell. And we'll be back next week with more technological advances, kind of.